Hope you enjoyed the next card. This is Sullivan As Game of Lives now Shippuden episode 451 on Itachi story Light and Darkness. But basically, this is like the beginning of the Itachi arc. We get to see that there's some things Itachi's past. Like, I mean, the episode starts off with we're going back. We thought we are going back to regular story. I mean, everybody's under the influence of the infinite Tsukuyomi, except for Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi under the protection of Susanoo. So, what's the reason why they're being protected is because Susanoo, the Rinnegan, protecting him, and we get to see Black Zetsu. They try to do their best to handle the situation. The only ones unaffected are the group I just mentioned and the resurrected Hokage, the Edo Tensei. I guess because they're dead, they're unaffected. I mean, you guys read the manga, you know. Right? I mean, we get to see some things that we never got to see. We get to see everybody's like fantasy. We get to see a lot of things. For example, Kiba bragging about being Hokage declares a new law: everybody should own a dog. I mean, Shino discovers some weird giant bug thing. Shino and his bugs. Joji has a wife who loves him, a very hot, little pretty wife, but skinny and feeds him nothing but food. It's pretty neat, unique. Like a perspective. Sai wanted to be accepted by people and everybody. Kind of like how Naruto and Yamato felt. You guys remember Yamato, right? He's back here. The situation, is very, like you're basically getting a look at everybody's dreams. Like basically, you get to see Gaara as a little kid having being happy, seeing his parents, alive, like him being loved, and Naruto's his childhood friend. I mean, we get to see Hinata. Hinata, she wants to be with Naruto. You know. And Neji's alive, and she's and her sister, Neji and her sister Hanabi are seeing her sister Hanabi are watching her and Naruto together. It's pretty interesting. Fantasizing on which boy likes her. I'm not gonna give too much away, because the spoiler. I don't want to spoil too much. Anyway, it's pretty interesting. You guys read the manga. Have you guys at least read the last manga chapter? Know what happens after the end of the war, after everything? Then I know what I'm talking about. Then there's Naruto Gaiden. Don't let me get into that. I did a live reaction shot. You can find that on my playlist. It's definitely a very interesting point of view. Anyway, they're discussing how to stop this whole thing. And Naruto doesn't like it when Sasuke talks down to Sakura and Kakashi, because they're useless in this situation. The only one who probably handle it is Naruto and Sasuke, but Naruto doesn't like when when he talks down to them, because they're not as strong as we are. Doesn't mean you have to treat them like crap. That's something you should understand. The situation for them is like very dire right now. Like they're in like what you call a peak move. Like, I'm sorry about that. Computer's a little wobbly. The situation for them is like very dire. You know. Anyway, I gotta get into the main story. You get to see Itachi. One of the reasons why we know about all this stuff is because when Itachi gave Sasuke his Sasuke, his Mangekyo Sharingan powers, and gave him Genju, and showed him his memories. He gave him not just his memories, but his feelings, his thoughts, his ideals, basically. Basically, he gave Sasuke his not just some memories, but his whole life in general. I mean, we got to see some of we got to see some of Itachi's past. I mean, if you remember when after Itachi and Sasuke had their fierce battle, and Toby found Sasuke and told him the story about Itachi's life, he told Sasuke that when during the Third Great Ninja War, Sasuke participated, and he was just 4 years old. A 4-year-old boy was involved in warfare. That's pretty harsh. That's pretty messed up. The situation for them is like very dire right now, and it's pretty messed up. But I'll get into him more in the point. Like, I mean, he's a little boy, but he was already a genius, so he knows what to do. So he's very intelligent. He knows what to do in this situation. How he tried to save some man who asked for water, but when the man looked at him and saw that he was really a ninja, he tried to kill him. Like, talk about ungrateful. And Itachi struck him down without hesitating. I know it was on instinct and he was trying to protect himself, but talk about ungrateful. It's pretty messed up. Anyway, we get to see some of the history of the past, some of the things about the Uchiha, saying that, and we get to see like Naruto and Sasuke's father. Naruto, oh, I'm an idiot. Itachi and Sasuke's father, Fugaku, who was the leader of the Uchiha clan, and he was in the middle. He was there, right on the front lines with Itachi during the Great War. He was there. He was watching over his son, saying, and he said that this was not a war between people. This is a war between nations. Like basically saying, never forget this sight, my son. Like this world is tough. This world is harsh. Like basically, that's like quite an interesting impression. I mean, leaving it on a 4-year-old boy is something, but leaving it an impression on your own son, like take a good look at the world. Like this is what reality is. Like I know Itachi had it tough, but damn, it's pretty mind-boggling. I mean, Itachi was already tough as a kid. He was very well praised. He remember there was even a few during the Great War. A lot of people died. They even went to a few funerals for certain members. But there was some Uchiha clan members discussing on what to do. I mean, even way back then, they were discussing about who should be the next Hokage after the Dohokage. He was in Sarutobi. The Uchiha clan wanted the Fugaku to take over. Like, for example, I mean, one of the big problems with the Uchiha is that they never accomplished because they never got shown respect or shown the seat of power. Even though they gave a lot for the village, like they were completely isolated for things that they didn't do until they eventually, turned bad because it wasn't their choice. They were forced into this decision. They're making decisions like that. They were even making decisions about Kakashi having Obito's eye and whether or not to let him keep it or take it back. I'm trying to give you details without giving too much of the away without spoiling all of it. Like, I mean, Obito gave his life for his friend. I mean, even though we all know how he ended up in the end, but he gave his life for his friend. Like, he gave him a gift. I mean, think about it. I mean, but with Fugaku, even though he tried his best as a leader, even though things went so south so badly, he seems like an honorable man. I mean, for example, when Sasuke's name comes from the her Hokage's father had the same name, so he even went so far to ask that their Hokage's permission to, can I please use your father's name? Not like that, but he went to the third, asked permission. He even thought about praising Sasuke to raise him right, to make sure he wouldn't forsake his name, like trying to make sure he goes down the right path. But once again, we all know how that ended up. No, it's definitely a big look through the looking glass. I mean, Itachi, he was having conflicting feelings. He was just a child. I mean, and he was having things on life and death, and it was like there was a part of him that still lives, but there was a part of him that wasn't into it anymore. Like he's just going through the motions, going through life. It's like very hard right now, very hard. I mean, this is very this is like something else. I wish that it didn't. I wish that Itachi didn't had a hard life, but that's the way it goes. It makes Itachi one of the most one of the best characters in Naruto, but he's also one of the most sympathetic. Like he did a terrible act to protect the world, even though it meant branding him a criminal, even if it meant laying his hands on his own family. It's very harsh. One of the things I gotta note, is his now, like the moment Sasuke was born, he tried to understand what is life. But when he saw Sasuke, when Sasuke was born, he got the feeling. I mean, even when his mom telling him that she was pregnant, like she wanted a little brother. Like for example, little brother, he could tell right away. I mean, Itachi may be a child, but he's a genius. He has sharp instincts. I just wish that life didn't have to be so rough. I wish he didn't have such a rough life. But that's what makes him one of the greatest characters in the show. No, in the series in general. I'm just praising. I mean, that's what I'm gonna say. Itachi's one best character, and it also seems like we're gonna get more from the story. We get to see later. We get to see T-Street. We get to see how Itachi went through more of his life. We get to see how he trains. We also get to see that there's this girl who's particularly interested in Itachi, but something happens, I bet, because we don't see her her. She's just a little girl, so I'm guessing something really, really bad happens, and that kind of sets Itachi on this path. Like that's one of the things you gotta note about Naruto. Something big happens in the story which changes a character's personality completely, which results in them going down either A the wrong, either save the world, or B to destroy it. That that could change, and that's a sudden change. And Itachi was a 4-year old, so I mean, so something big is gonna happen. So I'm just hoping. Anyway, it seems very interesting. I hope there's a bit more. I did like one episode, but only some of what happened. Only most of what up to the Itachi stuff. The rest, they were a bit funny. We get to see the people they're alive, but. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. Thank you. This is Solon Adams giving a latest review of Naruto Shippuden episode 451. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. Thank you.